We're going to talk about Chelsea's maiden trip to Dill Pickleson Stadium in Everton.
Yep.
Absolute trash. They were garbage for 90 plus minutes. The
Yep.
first game, I can, I don't know if I can ever say I've not finished watching a game. I have no idea how it ends. After the third goal went in, I said, enough. Mental health break.
Yeah.
I couldn't take it anymore. It was just terrible. Uh,
Understandable.
yeah, well, they're gonna go off on Rosenior and his tactics, and it's like, well, fine.
Hmm.
Yes, because they play so small. They play so incredibly small. When he first came, at least when they played small, it was setting up a long pass so you can break
Yeah.
down defenses and stuff. They're not doing that. They aren't doing anything. They're even their small-ish, their medium passes. They're just putting up the middle to get picked off. Like it was entirely Everton in the first half, except say for their Jordan Pickford has to make one great save in this match
Hmm.
off of Enzo, and he does. After he goes down, he has to bounce back up and block a shot. That's good. It looks like it would have went bar down. So good, good on Pickford. And of course, the announcers start falling in love with the England number one. So there's your England number one, and whatever. What do you want? So the only other chance they had, Chelsea, this entire match was just like a scramble, and they couldn't help but kick into another guy's legs the entire time.
Of course.
Everybody looked trash though. There's not one redeemable player on the pitch for Chelsea this entire match. Robert Sanchez, uh, as you have that match where he gets pulled for PSG in the Champions League to put in the Swedish kid, and you figure, okay, maybe it's going to light a fire under him. Maybe we're going to see that form we were seeing a little earlier, where Sanchez may have been one of the better players on the squad. Nope,
Hmm.
no.
No.
Those two goals for Beto were terrible. Uh, you can't let a guy go 5 hole on you in the Premier League. You can't.
No, you
What are you?
can't.
It was terrible. Just the giveaways in this match. Like at one point, I thought they had more giveaways than completed passes. Then I forgot. Oh yeah, they do all these 3 foot passes to each other while they decide not to do anything. It's awful. It's a terrible period in Chelsea. This is the second time in the last 3 years that we've lost 4 games in a row in all competitions. It is the last time before that was in 1993, so it went 30 years before this happened.
Wow.
Three. Blue Co is not going to be well received when returned to the bridge. But I guess they're planning another one of these protest things. Like this does any
Protests that will
good.
mean nothing.
It does nothing. Ask the Glazers, ask all these other people that have had fans go up. Oh, we're gonna protest them out of our club. They don't consider Chelsea a team. They consider Chelsea an
Yeah.
asset. It's not gonna work. We're still gonna buy
They're an
shirts.
investment company. That's all they care about. How
Yeah.
much money is Chelsea
Uh,
making them?
yeah. Well, according to FIFA, not much. According to FIFA, they're losing quite a bit of money, and that's why
Well,
we
I
got
would think with as much as they're spending on transfer fees and these contracts they're giving players, I would think they're not making much money.
they sell quite well. Like if you go down to their books for the
I
Premier
know
League,
they do. I know they do.
they
Yeah.
make money in the Premier League, but because of FIFA has different rules how they set up their things, and that's what's coming
Yeah.
into the league next year, I believe.
Yeah.
So like they're changing how they do PSR. So yeah, we'll see what happens next year. And plus, they can't get into any more trouble, or else they're going to have a 2 year transfer ban, which is probably for the best. Until you get Lawrence and Winstanley out of there. Well, why trust them at the helm of this club? It's
Yeah.
terrible. Like that's the problem here. Those two guys that ran, what was it? One was RB Leipzig, for God's sakes. Vaunted. You know what? Thinking back over the last 25 years, I think of all those great RB Leipzig clubs. And
Yeah.
Brighton. Just look what Brighton does. Terrible.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's a bit of a joke.
I made the thumbnail this week centered around this match, and I just said, "What is going on with Chelsea?" Because it seems like you guys were doing okay, and
Hmm.
then now all of a sudden there's Enzo Fernandez might be leaving, and they're going to give Liam Rosenior until the summer of 2027 before they review his performance. Which I was like, "Why would you do
That
that?"
that
There's
is
all this stuff
baloney.
coming out about Chelsea,
Yeah.
and all the things that are going on. Now you have it better than other clubs in the league currently. We will
Sure.
discuss Tottenham Hotspur in a few minutes, but
Yes.
Snark and I are going to thoroughly enjoy that discussion.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
what is going on at your club, man? Because they
Well,
look like a completely different team than they looked earlier this season at times.
they had an owner that was ruthless, maybe both on and off the pitch, but his only want in life was to win. That's all Abramovich ever wanted was his club to win. He,
Yeah,
and like he would have never settled for a guy who's never managed a single minute in the Premier League or in any top. Well, you can say if you want about the French leagues, but yeah, this kid they bring in Rosenior. He has no business at the club, and he shouldn't. Like when you think of, we could have had Enrique instead of even Maresca a couple of years ago, instead of taking a chance on Maresca, which seemed to work out until Maresca wants a little more control of the club, and then you have the
yeah,
Leipzig boys saying, no, we want to
no,
run it. We want to be the managers and just not take any blame. Because this is what
yeah,
these guys are doing. These guys are insulating themselves that they can think that everything they're doing is right because they're bringing all these young kids. They're splashing money around like it's, theirs, which it isn't. And, they get to hide behind a coach and not a manager. So yeah, a coach that can be fired, and don't ever think that this guy's going to get reviewed in 2027. This guy's going to get reviewed
I know.
right
I was
away.
like, I was really surprised when that report came out, and I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if he's gone by the start of next season with the way things are going at the moment.
Yeah, and as for the Enzo stuff, I think he's frustrated. He's being asked right after a match. There's a chance that they don't make Champions League football. If that happens, there could be a lot of changes because
Yeah,
just to make everything right with FIFA, they'll have to get rid of players. So it's ridiculous. Caicedo was asked the same thing though, and he says he wants to be a Chelsea legend. He couldn't care less about Real Madrid. So there you go. So we know who you have there. Yeah, maybe if you know Enzo could actually get a shot through on goal, he wouldn't have this problem anyways because he's been terrible as of the last few weeks, at least offensively. But they played a
yeah,
different style. They keep playing different styles, so it's a frustration. It is a frustration. I'd love to be wearing my
yeah.
goddamn kit right now, but kits are for winners. Chelsea right now is not, and they still have a shot at getting Champions League, which is dumbfounding. That's how bad the Premiership is this year. That's so
Yeah.
bad. Chelsea is still within striking distance of a
There
Champions
have
League
been a
spot.
lot of teams this year that I'm like, how are they there in the table? They've been awful. Like when I
Yeah, they've
realized
been team
Manchester
zone.
United's in the top four, I was like, what? When did this happen? Like, how
Yeah,
did this happen? They weren't so far back with Amarim there that when Carrot came in, they actually managed to get into the top four. Like the Premier
look
League
what
this year has been
consistent.
crazy. It's been
Look
wild.
what consistency can do. Consistency can do this for you, and just taking the reins off your best players. We said that, I don't know how many
Yeah,
times we've said it on the show. You let Bruno Fernandez be Bruno Fernandez. There you go. You're
yeah,
gonna win. You let your best player just move where he wants and not do stupid, ridiculous things or whatever, and these weird build everything from the back and very slowly and methodically, and hope your opponent you can trick your opponents into falling down or missing a marker or something like that. But you're not putting any slash passes in. Everything's a crossover, and all your guys are six and sub six. except for Liam Delap, and he's been terrible.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do? Our uh,
I don't
our
know.
best striker right now is a 10 at best,
Yeah.
and he's fallen off
Um
over the last 4 games too.
yeah, you guys have just really not played well like in the last few weeks, and it's been surprising to me actually, because you played some teams that like you would think Chelsea should beat them easily, but
Yep.
it's not
Yep.
happening.
No. It reminds me
Before
too
we
much of the Graham Potter era. So there you are.